Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Logical Nonsense Podcast, episode 111. Kayden's on. We're talking a little bit NFL draft, NBA playoffs, which if you're not watching NBA playoffs right now,
Yep.
you should. It has been really good series on both sides. So make sure you're tuning into that. But we're going to be breaking it down all here. Kayden, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Had a day off work finally. Feels like I never get those. So nice relaxed day. Just been chilling watching basketball the last couple of days. So I'm excited to talk. I know we've pushed this back a little bit, so the couple of series are kind of deep, but
Yeah.
we still got
No,
some
I think it'll
exciting
make it
knowledge to
interesting,
drop
though.
on you.
Oh, it'll be interesting. I have some interesting questions to ask you. So let's start with the draft. Very interesting draft. First, let's talk about your thoughts on the draft as a whole.
I was excited going into this draft. I think a lot of people were. I think it being in Green Bay, there was an awesome atmosphere for anyone that watched day one. So I think, there's a lot of upside coming into the draft. And then overall, I honestly thought this was a crazy draft the way it played out. Like,
Yeah,
I
really
think
was.
everyone thought there was going to be set in stone kind of first couple rounds. And then it was just, trades and players dropping and some reaches and just a lot of unprecedented, unexpected kind of things that we saw from this draft.
Yeah, no, and I think when talking with Dodge, that's something we said. Like, there was not like those blue chip guys that there always are, like in every draft, right? Like, this guy's going for sure number one, this guy's going for sure number two. Like, there weren't as certainties as there were in the past, it felt like, on prospects. So I feel like that was a result of that. I think the shakeup was crazy. Did I expect Shedeur Sanders to fall to the fifth round? No. I thought, he might go to the second round or the third round or something like that. But fifth round, crazy, man. Crazy. I mean, that's just one of them. There was a lot of guys that fell. It felt like, Will Johnson to the second round. There was a lot of guys who, I thought for sure were going first round and didn't. And vice versa. Guys, I thought maybe go second, third round. They go up higher. So it was a very interesting draft from top to bottom. I mean, third day, you're still waiting for Shedeur Sanders to get drafted. Like, so it was interesting. Let's go there though. Let's talk about Shedeur. Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Shedeur, projected to be a first round pick. Balls to day 3, round 5. What do you think happened?
I don't know, right? You hear he had bad interviews and all that, and people don't want the baggage that comes with the family, his dad and all that. But I still think it was a little bit excessive wrong for him to fall that
Yeah.
far. I don't know. I completely understand him falling to the second or third round. I don't think he is like really a top level quarterback. I think he has flashy plays and can make the stats and make the throws, but overall, I don't really know if he is a first round talent. Like, he's good. I don't want to
Yeah.
say he's not, but I could understand a slide to 2 or 3, especially with the quarterback class we kind of had this year and like all the other players. So I think him going to like the third round or the third day, fifth round, I think as soon as he started dropping teams were like, oh, why are other teams passing up on him? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everyone was kind of scared to pick him up until that, the value was just too great for him to sit
Yeah.
there any longer.
Yeah, no, I think it is a combination of it's a combination of a few things. First thing being is I think, like you said, he's a good quarterback, but is he great? Is he elite? Right. And I never thought he was. He wasn't he was my number 3 QB on the list. And this QB class, people as a whole have been saying like isn't as good as it was last year or the year previous. So I think that's something to be said. The other thing to be said as well is when you're a good or average quarterback, and I know a lot of people are going to say, he's not. Look at what he did to Colorado and all that. But anyways, when you're a good to average quarterback and you act entitled in your interviews, you have a lot of media heavy stuff around you. Teams are basically saying, we don't want that. Like, your attitude, the way you act, on top of you just being kind of an average quarterback and you not caring about the interview process or really caring into us, like you basically saying like, nah, I should be, first round, I'll go where I want kind of thing. Like that's why it didn't work is he was a very average quarterback in a class that had talent elsewhere in prospects. So it's interesting. I didn't expect it to happen, but I think it's a combination of that thing. I also think the media played into this a little bit too. I think the media kind of hyped Shedeur Sanders into a prospect that he may not have been in the NFL scout's eyes, if that makes sense. I don't know. I think when you watch his tape, like he's good and he's tough. He takes hits, he gets the ball out. But is there anything flashy? Like, are we seeing like Josh Allen skill level? Are we seeing Patrick Mahomes skill level? Are we seeing like I don't think so. Like, there's nothing that jumps out on the tape, in my opinion, that's like, damn, this guy should be like a certified first round pick regardless of the year. Like, I don't think so. Do I think he should have been fifth round pick? No. Like he definitely should have been second round, third round. But to your point, he starts sliding. And I think it was almost one of those things where he's projected on everyone's board as a first round pick. They didn't know what to do, so they just kept going with the rest of their board. Like I know there's certain teams that even have him on their board,
Yeah.
right? Like I heard it the other day, like team like Jacksonville, right? Like second, third round, like do they maybe, Trevor Lawrence, they don't know if the future of him, like maybe they go and grab him, but he's probably not even on their board. So have they even scouted him? Like, so it was interesting to see the reaction. I think it's super interesting what Cleveland did. It felt like they had a million chances to
Yeah.
take him, and they don't take him till the fifth round after they already drafted Dylan Gabriel. They've got Kenny Pickett, they've got Joe Flacco, they got Deshaun Watson. What the hell are they going to do there? You can't carry 5 QBs on your roster. So I'll be very curious how that plays out in Cleveland. I mean, it's almost a slap in the face. We drafted Dylan Gabriel before you.
Yeah.
You were kind of just like you were around in the fifth round. We weren't really expecting you here, so we're going to pick you up kind of pick. So I'll be curious how that plays out. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I know. I feel like the Browns had a million picks in this draft too. I was like, oh, surely he'll go here at 33. Oh, surely he'll go at 36. And
Yeah.
then the Browns just kept, and the Raiders, like both of them, just kept letting them just
Yep.
keep going round by round. And then when they drafted Dylan Gabriel, I was like, oh, there's no way he goes to Cleveland. And then sure enough, he went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
But if you're the Browns, I don't know if you feel like you wasted a pick now in Dylan Gabriel because now you have all those quarterbacks. Like you probably
Yeah.
could have got another talented player in that spot. So now I feel like you wasted a pick. So now you have a 5-person quarterback room, which will probably be down to 3 by the time the
Yeah.
season starts. So I feel like you had to take him, right? The value was too good there, but now you feel like, oh, what do we do the rest of this draft if you'd known you could have got him there?
Yeah, no, it is so interesting. Any other guys that shocked you that fell so far?
Will
Yeah,
Johnson that fell
Will Johnson, yep.
just because of an injury, right? But these guys, they're 20 years old. They're not like 35, dealing with these
Yeah.
injuries. So like, I feel like a lot of times some of these injuries you get scared about. You got to remember these guys are young and they recover. They're athletes. So him
Yeah.
falling was kind of crazy to me. There's a couple. Jalen Walker falling to the Falcons. That's who else I was
Yeah, that
thinking
was
of. I
crazy to
thought he
me.
was going to go a little bit earlier than that. And then both the Eagles and the Chiefs picks, the talent just
Yeah,
falls to them.
facts.
Both those guys I thought were going to go a little bit
Yeah.
earlier. So I don't know. And we wonder why, these good teams stay good. It's because the bad teams really don't know how to draft at the end of the day. And good
Yeah,
talent falls to good teams that scout well.
very true. Very true. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I was shocked that Jahad Campbell went at
Yeah.
31. And same with Josh Simmons. I mean, yeah, I know that Josh Simmons had some injuries and stuff, but like you said, like these guys are young. I know durability is definitely like a concern, but I don't know, man. Like, is it that big of a concern when they're 20 something? Like, I don't know. But yeah, very interesting. Let's talk about your favorite drafts that you had from teams. Your 3 favorite draft.
Number one, I'm go with the Niners, and not because I thought they drafted well, but because they drafted someone who went to Montana that I played football with that I've known since I was a kid. So shout out to Junior Bergen.
Junior
drafted
Bergen's son.
seventh round, almost last pick to the Niners. Besides that, I really didn't think the Niners had that good of a draft for what they needed, but because of that, I'll go with them. And then I thought the Ravens had a really good draft. I thought they got defensive talent that they needed. They got positions they needed, and I think the Bills drafted well again. I feel like both these teams just got what they needed for next year. A couple little holes. So I think the good teams had solid drafts once again.
Okay. See, the only thing I like not harp on the Bills for, but I would have liked to see them go get a receiver in this draft.
Yeah.
First, second, third round, like I don't know. I felt like receiver is still a need for them. Like you're not gonna find your wide receiver 1, so maybe they're like, we're not gonna find our wide receiver 1. We'll get a wide receiver 2. What's the point? But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would have liked to see them get a wide receiver.
Yeah, I was wondering why that. Isaiah Bond from Texas.
Yeah,
he has the allegations outside of football, but him to go undrafted was also crazy to me. I thought the Bills would get him, or the Cowboys, or someone that really needs a receiver.
yeah.
He fell all the way out.
My 3 favorite teams. I'm gonna go first with the Patriots, man. I thought the Patriots had a hell of a draft. Will Campbell, I really love. I loved him from the start. He's probably my favorite. Oh my gosh, tackle, offensive lineman. There we go. And I thought grabbing him at the 4 spot was perfect. Getting Drake May some more protection. They go out and they get one of my favorite running back prospects in Travion Henderson. And then they get a guy you and I both know is very solid in Kyle Williams. And I think that is a steal at round 3. I know he's kind of an underrated prospect, and I might be hyping him up because he is from WSU, but route running is really good. His top end speed is really good. I think he will translate really well into the league. So I thought they did a great first 3 rounds, super great. Towards the end of the draft, I don't know a lot of these guys, but I thought their first 3 rounds were really good. My next pick, and might be surprising, but I'm going to go with the Giants. I love their draft. They went out, they got Abdul Carter, my favorite prospect in the draft. They then trade up to go get Jackson Dart, and I know a lot of people were like, oh, that's a reach. I love Jackson Dart. I love his potential. I think him sitting behind Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston is going to be great for his career. Maybe listen a little bit more to Russ than Jameis. I don't know. That's going to be a weird ass fucking quarterback room. But anyways, they go out and get Jackson Dart. They get Cam Scatabo in the round 4. And I don't know, man. He's a dog. I could see him, first year maybe getting some reps and then, translating later on. His competitiveness, his willingness, his passion to play for the game, I think is going to lead him to great places. So I loved what the Giants did. And then my last one, I'd probably either go Ravens or Eagles here. I loved both of their drafts. I think they both had really great drafts. And like you said, just guys that fell right into their laps and guys where they can just continue to, put in the room that kind of iron sharpens iron mentality, So they just keep refueling in the draft, and that's why they continue to stay good. So what did you think of those 3 teams?
The Giants, I'm going to agree with you on the point of Jackson Dart. Everyone, when it happens, like, oh, here you go. They draft up, they're going to get Shedeur. And then all of a sudden Jackson Dart gets called. And, I think you and I were at the game when Wazoo played USC, and he came in at halftime, had like 400 yards in the second half, and we were winning. And then next thing we're down by 35 points. So that was his first start. So from there to the Giants, it's cool to say that we saw him play his first game.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a reach really at all, because I think Cleveland probably snags him first in the second round.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think he's going too many picks further back from where he got selected. And if that's your guy, like Dable liked him, liked what he saw, go get him. Yeah. And you have that opportunity. So I don't hate that at all. I love Scatabo. I saw him play at Sac State when he was at the FCS level, just dominating everyone. We saw what he did for Arizona State this year, taking him to the CFP. So that guy, he's a dog. Abdul Carter was my favorite prospect too. I thought he should have went number 1, even though it's hard to pass like on Cam order for the Titans. But I like what they did too. I really like the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No. What did you think of the Patriots?
They like a sleeper draft, right? Because no one really thought they were going to draft well, and they just got talented players and
Vrabel, man.
yeah, positional players that they need, and
Yep.
they'll probably be rebuilding for another 2 to 3 years. But this is how you do it. You've seen Vrabel build through the drafts before. We'll see him do it again. They got Drake May some weapons that he needs, so I think this Patriot team is on a very nice upslope right now compared to what we saw last year.
Definitely. All right, let's talk about our teams. What did you think of the Cowboys draft?
So overall, I really didn't hate it too much. I think it was pretty average. I think our first round pick is a guy that we needed, but I also thought that we could have traded back maybe 5 or 6, 7 picks in the first round and still got him. Like it felt like a little bit of a reach, but
Yep.
I really loved our second and third round picks. That DN from
Yeah.
Boston College, is a beast. That
Yes.
cornerback
Great,
from
great picks
is
in
a
the second and
fucking
third
beast just because
round.
he tore
Even
his
your fifth
ACL. He
round
filled us in
pick.
the third. Yeah. So besides, not getting a receiver and maybe reaching in the first, I thought that we actually had a pretty solid draft. And
Yeah.
then we signed two free agents, unsigned guys right after two receivers. So we got all the holes that we needed. I really wish we could have got like Tez Johnson. I really wish we
Yeah.
said that, or that Bond guy from Texas, but that's okay. I actually wanted the guy that the Panthers got at 8 from Arizona.
Tedero and McMillan.
Yeah, that's who I wanted. So I was sad when he got picked. So I think that's who we were going to go with. And then it was kind of like, oh shit, all right, we need a lineman. So we picked first at lineman on our board. But overall, I think we filled needs, a lot of defensive needs. So I thought it
Yeah.
was good.
No, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by the Cowboys draft. I thought they got a lot of good steals in the second and third, and even the fifth round. Like that Jaden Blue man. I think
Yeah.
he'll be solid. So for the Broncos, interesting draft. Not the direction I thought. Everyone thought we'd go receiver, running back. That's probably the direction I would have gone.
Yeah.
However, I do like Jahdae Barron a lot. And he was my favorite corner in this draft. He won. I think he won the best corner last year for the college football, and for good reason. I mean, he's so versatile. You can put him at safety, you can put him at nickel, he can play man. Like he's just one of those guys that is a football guy. And after seeing all the clips too, he's a great kid too, which I think you got to commend. So, do I think it was a need for us? I don't necessarily think so. But I do think the Broncos can move around some guys, whether it's him going to safety, whether it's somebody else going to safety. I definitely think, it's just more fuel to the fire on our defense. Our defense is going to be scary next year. I'm really looking forward to it. Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga. I mean, those guys were additions in the offseason too. I'm very excited to watch this defense because I think it's going to be really fun to watch. We did get RJ Harvey, who I said this running back class was deep, so I wasn't worried when we didn't go running back. And I think he's exactly what the Broncos needed. He's a beast, man. I mean, his tape is fun to fucking watch. So I'm excited to see him. I hope he can translate at the next level. I did not like our receiver pick. I thought that was a reach. I think you could have waited till fifth round to get him. I think there was other receivers on the board that could have gotten a little better. One second. Did we fucking pass up on Kyle Williams? I swear to God, if we passed up on Kyle Williams, I'm going to actually be pissed. All right. One second. 69. No, okay. We didn't pass up on Kyle Williams. So, okay. I feel a little better. But still, I still think that was a reach. I think there was better receivers on the board. So it was an up and down draft. I think there was some steals and I think there was some reaches by us, but we'll see how it plays out. What do you think of the Broncos draft?
I like the Q Robinson pick. The guy from
Yeah, I did too.
That guy's a fucking animal. So I like that one. You're like 6th and 7th round picks. I think they were solid, but it's the 6th and 7th round.
We got a fucking punter.
Yeah, so. I never understood why teams drafted punters.
We got a punter, and then our 7th round draft pick played 4 snaps of football.
Yeah, so
he literally is a basketball player. He's 6'7".
Right, you never know. He could turn into a beast, but
very Sean Payton move.
Yeah, I didn't like that receiver from Illinois either. I didn't think it's hard. Like Illinois is not a good passing team, so to even think, that was a little bit of a reach. But besides that, I liked the first 2 picks. I like that Q Robinson pick. So probably like a B
Yeah.
minus overall,
No.
kind of pretty a little bit above average, I'd say. But
Yeah.
your defense, man, fills holes, the last little holes I think that you guys needed. So I'm excited to see what you guys hold teams to this year. I'm thinking 16.5 points per game, somewhere along
Oh,
mid
holding
10s.
teams?
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're gonna have an
No, and
elite
it'll help
defense
us
next
out
year.
because I think you said this at some point in time, like, putting the pressure off of Bo Nix, I think will help us more. We just don't have the weapons that a lot of other teams do, and, that's fine if we have a really good defense, right? So, if we can at least score, when we need to, I'm fine with it. So, all right, let's hop into the NBA unless you had anything else on draft.
Nope, I think I'm ready.
All right, NBA. Let's start with the only series that is complete. No, Cleveland just won tonight, so never mind. Let's start with Thunder Grizzlies. Though, let's start with the West. What do you think of this series?
Man, it was actually kind of interesting to see the shape this took, right? Because the Thunder absolutely obliterate in games 1 and 2.
Yeah,
And from there, I was like, "Oh, it's done."
it's
Said,
over. Yeah,
yeah. And then game 3, we were watching the draft. I looked down. It's 67-40. The Memphis is up. I was like, "All right, they're gonna steal one back. Nice. They're a good team. Like, shame they were 8th in the West because they were 3rd at one point, like 2 weeks
yeah.
ago. So, and then the Thunder just come back like unbelievable. Just Chet scored 16 in the third. They just went ballistic. Shea hasn't even really had to explode very much in
No,
that first round. Like he
he
didn't even
really
have the
didn't.
first couple good games. So, and then they pulled that one out. And then with no jaw in game 4, the Thunder only won by 2. So I don't know if it was more of them just coasting to that win or if Memphis playing their heart out kind of thing. But they get the job done. I expected a sweep, honestly. I think that they're just outclassed them, outmatched them, especially with Jalen Wells going out for Memphis. He was
I
their
was gonna
glue guy
say,
defensively. So as
yeah,
soon as he goes out, you're playing 7 deep, and Memphis really doesn't have that strong of a bench. Can go in against a team that can go 10, 11 deep. So this is what I expected. Now the Thunder get a rest, which is the scariest part of all this. If your other teams, you want them to get 1 or 2 taken off just so they can't sit back for a week before they play in the round too.
yeah. No, the Thunder just were. I mean, like you said, their depth is just insane. Like they just have dudes on dudes. Like your bench comes in and you're not even worried. That's just how I feel about the Thunder. They have so many guys that can score, and SGA really didn't have to do that much in this series, which is crazy to say coming from an MVP candidate, right? Like he really didn't have to will his way to the Thunder win. It felt like it just felt like the Thunder were always in control, even when they were down. They were in control. I mean, first 2 games were absolute domination, especially what that game 1. Like that was
Yeah.
just ridiculous how bad they beat on them. It sucks because I do think Jalen Wells would have helped the Grizzlies. Do I think it would have led them to a series win? No, but it would have been at least a little bit more interesting. Maybe they take a game or 2, probably just 1 game. But I think I don't know, like where do the Grizzlies get better? Like what more depth? Like what do the Grizzlies need?
Man, this is what I was thinking too, because I like Desmond Bain, but he right now I think he has the most value you're going to get out of him. So I feel
Yeah.
like trading him this offseason and trying to get some more bench depth is going to be very helpful for Memphis. I think you have your bigs, right? You have Jaren Jackson and you have Zach Edey.
Yep.
So I think you're set there, but just some more 3 guard play to take some
Yeah.
pressure off Jaw. Maybe a better 2 to fill in Bain's role. I like Desmond Bain a lot, but I just think
Yeah.
he's probably the piece that's going to get you the most value.
1 season with Edie. What are your thoughts?
I think he played pretty solid for the most part. I still think there's a lot of his game he can work on. Sometimes he just looks like a stone pillar out there moving around.
Yeah.
I wish he could somehow become a little bit more athletic, but yeah, I think he filled a pretty good role for Memphis this year when Jaren Jackson was out. He did better than I kind of assumed that he would because he actually played a lot more also than I thought he would.
Yeah. Yeah, no, both rookies played a lot more. I just think Grizzlies need depth. Like
Mm.
that's the thing is like they need depth. And that's hard to get kind of right now because it's like you kind of have to draft into depth. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't pay everyone on the team big bucks. So you kind of have to get lucky and find those guys that can really fill those roles and come off the bench and be an asset to your team. And we come playoff time, man. This is what we fucking talk about. Like, these bench guys coming in and really making a difference. So shout out Jalen Williams, by the way. He had a hell of a series for Thunder. All right, next series, probably my favorite series. I don't know. It's between these guys and the Rockets Warriors, which I know is going on right now. But Nuggets Clippers, man. Can we just talk about Kawhi for a second? Like, not that I forgot how good Kawhi
So,
was, but like, damn, when he's healthy, man, I think you can make an argument he is a top 5 player in this league still. Like, he's ridiculous. That game too,
mhm,
that was ridiculous. I mean, he's just been playing his ass off.
yep,
And honestly, if it weren't for like end of game antics, like that game 1 and overtime, Clippers probably should have won that one. Was it yesterday with the fucking buzzer
Saturday.
beater?
Yeah.
Saturday? Oh
Yep.
my god, man. Like those are 2 games in a row the Clippers probably should have had, and this series would be
Yep.
over. It's a very interesting series. What are your thoughts on Kawhi first? We'll start
Okay.
there.
You know, this is a pleasant surprise. This is something we love to see as NBA fans
Yeah.
because after the Toronto year, man, it's just been like
Yeah.
he does seem like he doesn't
Injury and
care.
yeah.
Injury when he does play, it's just minimal effort. And then all of a sudden, the end of the season and going into the playoffs, it's like, holy shit, this is Kawhi prime Kawhi again. You know, just balling out middies all day, dunks on your
Dude.
face, prime defense,
Oh
snatching the
my
ball with
god.
his and it's like he wants another ring now. He's like, all right, I've
Dude.
laid the weeds. My body feels good. Let's roll right now. And he
Yeah.
has a supporting cast where he can play like this again, which is
Yeah.
fun to see.
No, it's been so fun to see. I mean, the defense is legit. He's like one of those guys who's like, if I want the fucking ball, I'm gonna come get it from you. Like he just snatches it from people, and it's crazy. I mean, they call him the claw for a reason, but I mean, I know I keep going back to that game too, but it felt like any shot,
Yep.
contested, non-contested, it was falling. Like
Mhm.
it was a Kawhi that I have not seen in a lot of years, and it was a very pleasant surprise to see that again. Speaking of players that are playing hard, can we talk about Jokić too? People are talking about how this man is going to retire in a few years or like, go ride off his horses. He doesn't really care about the game. Dude, he's fucking coaching these kids,
Yep.
man. He's the coach right now. I know they got an interim, but I'm telling you,
Yep.
he's coaching all these guys. He cares a lot. He's been playing his ass off.
Coming into this series, I had Nuggets in 7, and I'm glad that it's living up to the pre-series hype that we thought was going to happen. It's awesome to see Harden turn back the clock, Russ
Yeah.
in some games turn back the clock.
Yep.
So in the games that the Nuggets lose, it's the ones where like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter aren't really giving him help, as you
Yeah.
see. He's trying to take over and do too much. But the ones that they win is when he get help. So for them, it's just the players around Jokić. Jokić will get his 35, 12, and
Yeah.
15 every game. So, but it's going to be interesting to see how he wears down these last 3 games because I'm sure he's exhausted. He plays almost every minute of every game, and Jamal Murray's been playing through sickness. He's been
Yeah.
playing pretty good as well. I think that it goes 7. Like it's just set in the
Yeah.
stones that this one has to go to 7, and I think Kawhi is going to pull this out for the Clippers, just from what we've seen so far.
Dude, I know. I know it's the Clippers though, and it's like, fuck, can they
Mhm.
pull off a series? Like they can't do it, but I don't know, that Kawhi factor to me is like it's putting me in the wrong way. I mean, he wants it. You can see he wants it this time. Like years past, the last few years, like injuries, doesn't really seem to care. He has a different killer instinct this time, and I think it's coming to play. I think I've realized the Nuggets are too reliant, kind of like what you said, on good MPJ and Aaron Gordon performances. And I think that kind of sucks for them because they're too inconsistent, both of them. They're way too inconsistent to be relying on them. And I think that's ultimately why the Clippers are going to win. A mix of Kawhi and that factor too. But yeah, Clippers, like I said, I think they could have easily won this a few games ago. So, or I guess, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. All right, let's go to Lakers Timberwolves. Probably the most surprising series, in my opinion, on the West. Timberwolves up 3-1. Anthony Edwards, man, oh man, this man does not give a fuck who he's playing. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Like, he doesn't care if it's LeBron. He doesn't care if it's fucking Michael Jordan. He does not care. He balls out, and it feels like the Lakers are throwing everything at Timberwolves. I mean, they're playing their starters like the whole game. They don't care, and neither do the Timberwolves. They just keep squeaking by, getting dubs, and I don't know, man. I don't think the Lakers are winning this series.
Yeah, I agree with you. I had Lakers in 6 before this, due to the fact that I watched Luka take a team of less talented players to the finals last year, and I was like, with LeBron and Reeves on their team, I thought that they could at least get through the first round. I was kind of iffy on the second round, but I thought that they were just more talented than the Timberwolves, and been proven wrong, even though they've been a lot of close games.
Yeah.
And especially in this last game, Luka gets tripped and they don't call it when they're down by 1. And then it looked like the ball was off Ant. They replayed it. LeBron, they pulled out some crazy camera angle I've never seen before, like over the top, direct down. LeBron fouled him. That was crazy. Like, only on LeBron they would pull out that camera. But Ant, yeah, like you said, he's a beast. Knocked out KD last year. He's gonna knock out LeBron this year. 40-something points, dude. Just go, go, go. And the role players for the Timberwolves are playing exceptional basketball. And for the Lakers, they got no help outside Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. They had 0 bench points last game. 2 bench points because they played Hayes for like 1 minute as their starter, and then Dorian Finney-Smith came in and played 48 minutes and scored 6 points. So technically it's 6, but like you can't win a game with only 3 players. I don't care who you are. They're just like an upgraded version of the Suns, and you can't win. I don't care how talented those 3 players are.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the fact that they don't have answers on defense. Like, if you're playing your starters that line, like they're getting tired. LeBron's getting tired. LeBron's playing his ass off. Shout out to LeBron. I know I'm a LeBron hater or whatever, but like he's been playing his ass off. But the fact of the matter is, LeBron, well, maybe not LeBron, but Austin Reeves and Luka, they're just not defensive players. They just aren't. Like, I love Luka. I love his game. I love Austin Reeves. I love his game, but they're not defensive players. And when you got Ant, Rudy Gobert, and Jaden McDaniels coming off the bench, or is he starting now?
He starts, yeah.
He starts. Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, like, it's too much size. They got no one to guard these guys. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Man, I hate watching Rudy Gobert play offense. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's just like you're 7'2" and he's like a foot away from the rim and he tries to go underneath the rim every time and he just airballs it. Like, just he's playing good defense, man. He always has, but I don't want to see him take a single shot ever.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad.
Going back, to this Nuggets Clippers series. If you're the Thunder, who would you rather see?
I would rather play the Nuggets, I think, because I don't know why. And my gut's telling me the Clippers have a really good shot at beating the Thunder in a 7-game series if Kawhi is on his game, just because of experience alone with Harden, with Kawhi.
I can see it.
So I think you'd rather play the Nuggets, get them all tired out, because I think if you play fast pace against them, they won't be able to keep up.
No.
But against the Clips, because of the way they play defense, I think they can.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at I keep bringing up game 2, but look at game 2, man. Nuggets came out on fire, coming out fast. Clippers were able to maintain, kind of just keeping the game, kept chipping away, and sure enough, they weren't able to keep that pace the whole game. So I agree with you. I think high pace, you can beat the Nuggets. I don't know about the Clippers. I agree. All right, our last series on the West, Rockets Warriors. Game going on right now. I can't believe Golden State's up 2-1 after Jimmy going down. I mean, after that game 2 performance, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm worried for the Warriors. If they don't have Jimmy, I don't know about this series anymore. Because Jimmy, game 1, playing his ass off. And then, that allows Steph to go score 30-plus points, right? So I was like, I don't know if they can win with just Steph. And then you have a Steph game, classic
Yeah,
Steph game,
because
right? So, God, this series is good too. Let's talk about it.
the Steph age ever, man. Because you kind of lull through the season with him, and then he
Yeah.
just puts performances like Game 3, and you're like, yep, he's still an elite player in his prime, no matter how old he is, right? He
Yep.
can just do stuff like that. The rest of the starting lineup has less than 10 points each, and he puts up 39 in an absolutely, grueling defensive series.
Yep.
And what's one thing else I want to talk about these playoffs is they're letting them play defense. This is physical
Yes, I
90s
love it. I
basketball, and
freaking love it,
I, you
man.
know,
I
and this is what
love
we
it.
want to see. I do too. Less free throws, low scoring. Let them play. So this is awesome. This series, has all the merits of going 7, 6-7, just depending on what Rockets team we get. Because the Rockets are a good team. They're a great defensive team, but when they struggle offensively, they got no answers.
It's
Like
not good.
we saw in both their losses, when they don't score, they don't play well. So this had me also as a 7-game kind of feeling to it.
I agree. Who do you got though?
I like the Warriors still. It's just
I
the
do
Steph
too.
Curry effect, man. I never believed in the Rockets. I thought they were a regular season team, as
Yep.
good as they are, but just the skill level, Jimmy, playoff Steph, it just has the recipe for them winning the series, and then I also had them beating the Lakers in my before the playoff kind of thing too. So
Yeah.
I got to stick with my gut and go with the
It's
Warriors.
it's interesting that we're surprised by Steph doing this shit in the playoffs still because look at this summer, man, at the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Finals game, he went off, man. Why are we surprised? This is just what this guy does. He just, I don't know, man. He's making a strong case of being one of the best ever. I'm not, and I know that's a heavy statement, but I genuinely think you could, by the time his career's over, don't be surprised if we're calling him a top 5 player of all time. Might be a bold take, but he's got 4 championships. He's taken teams. I mean, his 4th championship, I can't believe that he won that one. Yeah. So, yeah, I know that one hurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But still. All right. Our other sweep in the playoffs, Cleveland versus the Heat. I didn't really think the Heat had a chance from the beginning. I mean, Cleveland's been lights out all season. The Heat basically barely snuck in like the Heat do every playoffs, but this time they don't have Jimmy. So, anything to really talk about here?
No, I thought the Heat were going to steal a game just because they're the Heat, right? And the Spoelstra and Heat culture, they always seem to be able to at least take one. Right? And they almost took game 2. They actually should have probably won game 2, but there was some heroics from Cleveland, that buzzer beater pretty much for the win there. And then after game 2, because game 1 and 2 were both pretty hard fought.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely blowouts. Like today, it was like a 50-point game.
Yeah, 55-point game.
Game 3 was bad too. And then we just saw the depth, the experience, the explosiveness of the Cavs, and they're a dangerous team. And I think Ty Jerome has a chip on his shoulder for not winning 6th Man of the Year because he's been balling in the first round.
Yeah.
And now Cleveland gets some rest for a series probably against a good Pacers team, which is also going to be exciting. But, the Cavs, they're not a regular season team like a lot of people might think they have been. He's like, oh, they'll run to the East, they'll run into some dogs. But they made a statement in this first round that they are here to go all the way.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Cavs are confirming more and more. To me, we talk about this all the time. These regular season teams, right? And they're not one of them. I don't think they are this year. I think they're genuine. They've got a path to the conference finals at least. They're legit. Donovan Mitchell is legit, and this team has really good depth. I would be shocked if they're not in the conference finals, which leads us to our next series, Indiana versus the Bucks. Dame announced torn ACL. Bucks can't catch a break. Thoughts on the series?
And I thought the Pacers were going to win. I didn't think the Bucks had the firepower to do this anyway. It's just, your high level players are getting older in age. Look at Lopez.
Yep.
Giannis is starting to age a little bit, and it's just you just can't compete. The Pacers are young. They're quick. They're explosive. Their offense, second half of the season has been just lights out, top 5. They don't miss. It seems like they're high 3-point shooting team, but they also defend well, which is a lot of teams that score also don't play defense, but they score and play defense, and they play 100%. And I really like this Pacers team. I like what I'm seeing. Miles Turner always plays hard. Nemhart, Spicy P's been having a great series. He's been, and for Giannis, he just doesn't have much help. And Dame came in game 2, gave it his all, but you could tell he hasn't been playing in a while. And then comes out this last game, tears the Achilles, and that's going to be hard for him to recover. He's 35, so that's not something you want to see.
No.
And for the Bucks, I think they lose game 5. I think they lose 4-1. The question is, what do you do with Giannis?
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking getting there. You're stealing my fucking role, damn you.
Right? Like, I think you got to try to pair him with another superstar. I don't see that. I think you got to trade him and get a bunch of picks, and then you start the rebuild right now, because
I think it's over.
I think Bobby probably goes. I think probably Brooke should probably go. I think you should just blow it all up, honestly. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but Giannis, you can't be wasting his career now with probably no players and no talent around him, because he's too good.
Well, they don't have any picks. That's the thing.
It's like Saquon with the Giants.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you could keep him, be selfish, and he'd do good, but why not let him go have a good career somewhere else, and will you rebuild for your future? So I think it's over for Giannis and the Bucks.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's time. They tried one last hurrah with Damian Lillard. I still don't agree with the Chris Middleton trade, getting rid of him. I don't think Kuzma was the guy, as we can see. I think that was a bad mistake. But yeah, I agree. I think there's been a lot of different things that I think just went wrong. I think going back to Mike Budenholzer and that firing, I know we've talked about this on this podcast. I don't think that was necessary. Then they fire their coach within 20 games or something like that. Like, it wasn't even that many games. And so I just feel like there's a lot of steps in the way that it went about it, and it just didn't work out. And it's time to move on. Because like you said, they could be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to be anything more with that. So it's time to rebuild. And it sucks because Giannis was drafted to the Bucks, right? Like, it's homegrown. Like, it reminds me of Luka in ways in that way. But I think it's time for a trade and to get a new identity as the Bucks team. So, okay, going to our next series, Knicks Pistons. Thoughts?
This has been a crazy series. This has been fun, physical. This is like 90s basketball, 90s Knicks, 90s Pistons. So this has been awesome to see. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be, because I knew how scrappy the Pistons were, and they came in with that mantra that, like, we're going to out physical you. And it's nice to see Tobias Harris playing well for the most part in the playoffs. Besides one game, he's played
Tobias
good.
Harris, hey, is going away here.
Finally got a shout out for a decent shout out. Cade Cunningham's played
really good,
phenomenal basketball. And then I just don't think they have this firepower that the Knicks do. Brunson,
no. But I think they'll get there in a few years.
Yeah, they're close, man. And they should have won game 4. Let's be honest. They were up by 5, and Karl-Anthony Towns hits a fading baseline jumper, and then just a nasty step back 3 for the lead. And that 3 was 30 feet, 2 guys on him.
Yeah.
But then, that loose ball goes to the corner. Hardaway shoots that. Does he get fouled? Probably.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's been a lot of controversy with the refs by letting him play, though. But the refs decide to swallow their whistle. He goes up and misses the shot, and then the Knicks go up 3-1 in a series that could easily be 2-2. But now they go back to the Garden, so Pistons are going to have to play lights out to steal game 5.
No, and I think this is a series where it's like evident who has the experience because I feel like the Knicks in like almost every game it feels like fourth quarter it's
Yeah.
Knicks basketball. Like they're in control. Like even in the game they won, I thought the Knicks were gonna pull that one off too. I know I was like, holy shit, are the
Big
Knicks gonna
game.
do this? Especially after game one,
Yeah.
where the Knicks basically came running back and won that game. So I I think that's just fourth quarter play. Like that's just some experience stuff. And I think, in a few years they'll get better at that. But the Knicks have been here before with this team. So it makes sense that they're inexperienced and are struggling in the fourth quarter. But watch out in a few years, man.
Mhm.
All right. Last series, Celtics Magic. You guys lost a game, but overall you guys have been playing pretty solid.
Mhm. I think it was expected to lose a game. I think the Magic are a really good team, like really defensive heavy team.
Mhm.
Like they come at you, and especially with the like we've said before, the way the refs are letting them play. This has been an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah.
Too like Bankero and Brown are about to fight in a game. Like it's physical. I love to see it. I think that's how you can beat the Celtics. If you're another team, is getting into them physically, getting in their head and disrupting their rhythm offensively,
Yeah.
and that's what the Magic they've kept most games close, at least through the third quarter, especially in the ones they lost. Game 4 was close all the way until about 3 minutes left, until Tatum and Porzingis took over. And then game 3, they stole right at the end. So I think the Magic, they don't go through all the injuries all year. They're not even in an 8 seed position anyway. They're probably in a 5-6 position. So I can see this series why or a 7 seed, I guess, but why it's been so tough for the Celtics kind of to find themselves offensively.
Yeah.
And Drew didn't play the last 2 games. Tatum didn't
Yep.
play in game 2, so Celtics are still battling through some injuries. But I
Yeah.
think 4-1 is probably what we'll end up seeing. I think that's kind of what I expected to set up a Knicks versus Celtics second round, which is going
Which
to
I
be
think will
lights out.
be
I think
yeah.
that'll be a good series.
We're gonna have some I think this playoffs throughout is gonna be really good, but yeah, no, I agree. I think the thing about the Celtics though is like even when they're not like at their best, they still execute. Like they still get it done, and I think that's what good teams do. And so I think as a Celtics fans, you should be feeling good about that. Like they're like sure they let one game go, but like overall they're still doing what they need to do to get the job done. Um, do I think that's gonna win them a series against the Knicks? No, I think they're gonna need a few games where they're at their best, but right now that's what you need to do until you can get your team healthy and well they're not going to be fully healthy but healthier I should say. So I'd be feeling okay if I'm the Celtics fan. All right, anything else for the playoffs?
I'm gonna do a hot take here. One of the 4 seeds is going to upset one of the 1 seeds in the second round.
Who's it
Either
going to
the
be?
Clippers, Nuggets, I'm over the Thunder, or the
Yeah,
Pacers over the Cavs. One of the two is going to
I
happen.
think it's going to be the Thunder.
I can
Yeah, I
see
think
that
it's going to be
too.
the Thunder.
Man, but the Cavs Pacers second round is going to be electric. The way both teams play offense and defense, like we could see games in the 130s, or we could see games in the 90s, just depending on the way they
So
play.
if we get a Timberwolves Warriors matchup, which I believe is what we're
Uh,
predicting, who are you taking?
oh, oh my! Like you got playoff Ant, playoff Steph. Like I think I like the Timberwolves, and I don't know
I do
why. Just the way
too.
they play, because I think the Warriors beat the
They're
Lakers,
on
but
a
I think the
heater, man.
Timberwolves beat the Warriors.
I also think
And
it's a mismatch
yeah,
in terms of
I could
matchups.
Timberwolves are just they're more depth heavy than the Warriors are, right? So the guys around
Yeah,
are going to help Ant. That would be a great series too. I think they'd even beat the Rockets too if the Rockets do beat the Warriors. I think I think you're looking at some crazy scenarios that could happen all of a sudden in these playoffs, right? Like going in, I thought we were like, oh yeah, it's going to be Thunder versus Celtics or Thunder versus Cavs.
yeah,
And now
yeah,
in my mind, I'm like, there could be 8 or 9 different potential
dude.
finals
Yeah,
matchups. I don't know. That's why I love playoff basketball and the way it's going right now.
yeah, definitely, definitely. No, it's gonna be fun. Grab your popcorn. So, all right, well, We're gonna give NBA hoop grids a second try.
Oh
I didn't
Lord.
tell you this beforehand, but
All right.
I want to surprise you. So I've been practicing every
Okay.
day. I've been doing them. So hopefully I'm a little better. I found some guys that I think in a lot of cases we can use. So
Okay. Good.
like Jeff Green, bro, that
Mhm.
guy's been on every fucking team. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, here we
Yep.
go. All right, we got up top Clippers, less than 200 points in a career. Oh God, that one's gonna be hard.
Oh.
Aaron Gordon, teammate, played in the 2020s, Magic and the Nuggets. All right, where do we want to start?
Um.
We want to start up here and then go
Yeah.
to.
Let's do
All
it.
right, Clippers players. List off some random ones.
Dude, do you ever get as soon as the grid comes up, it's
Yeah,
just like okay, everything I
it's
know
like
about
blank.
basketball for the rest of
It's
my,
like
for my whole
blank.
life.
All right, Clippers 2020s. All
You
right.
know.
Has Kawhi been on the Clippers since the 2020? I think he has, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of teammates he's had.
Did Alex Len play for the Clippers? Or am I trying to think of like?
I don't know about that
I
one,
think it's
but
just
we can
like
try it. No.
okay.
Trying to think who's on their bench right now.
Yeah.
Who's their point guard right now? Clippers.
Well, besides Harden,
Yeah.
who else do they play? They got Bogan. They got Bogdanovich, but I think he's off their
We can
bench,
try
right?
it. We can try it.
Or Bogdan.
Oh.
No way, bro. He's like, nah. Okay.
We'll take it. We'll take
Yeah,
it.
but he shouldn't be because he actually plays solid. Whatever. People forget about Bogdan.
All right. Do we want to go the right?
Fuck, less than 200 points. I mean, it's
We
just
have to
gonna
think
be
of
like.
like random ass players.
I know it's gonna be
Wait. Less than 200 points played in 2020s.
so
What about what the fuck is his name? Here. I got it one. Shout
nice.
out Anton.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right,
Gonzaga.
Aaron Gordon teammate played in 2020s. KCP.
Yeah, I guess.
We can try it, and then I'm sure that'll come back all bad, but it's not bad.
No.
We can try to get someone better though. What about I'm sure Brown is more, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's about the same. No, it's way more. Okay, we'll go back to that guy. Who else?
But did he play with DeAndre Jordan? Was
Yes,
his
he
first year?
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little better.
Um.
Who else? Trying to think who comes off their bench, bro.
I know.
Or okay, who did he play with with the Magic? He played with Markelle Fultz at all?
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure. Unless he was still on the Nuggets at that time.
There we go. Damn, I'm low-key doing pretty good here.
Cole
See,
Anthony.
this is why I practice. All right.
It's probably higher.
Cole Anthony.
Probably if he played.
I don't know if they played together.
I don't
though.
think so. He's probably too young.
Oh, okay. Should we? Okay.
Who's on that Magic team? Fuck. Now you gotta.
Well, let's try this. Markelle Fultz and then Cole Anthony here.
Yeah.
Ooh, not as good. Okay, we'll go Cole Anthony here. Let's try. Oh shit, I can't do that. We'll go here. Try Markelle Fultz. Damn, that's worse. All right. All right, let's try to think of other Magic players.
Dwight Howard. Is he still in? Did they play together?
I doubt it, but we can try it.
I don't even know.
No.
I was trying to throw it. Dario Saric. Did he play? He played for the Magic, yeah. No. Fuck.
We can come back to that.
Okay. Search.
Okay, what's that one guy that won the dunk contest?
Mac McClung.
Oh, fuck off. All right, that one was too easy, apparently.
Yeah. Try to think. Who did the Magic draft this year? God, I should know. Like, uh,
What about?
less than 200 points is crazy, though. That's what I'm trying to think.
There's no way it's Anthony Black, but I can
That's what
try
I was
it.
thinking too. Because I'm like, he's probably scored more than
Nah.
200 points.
Fuck. That one's gonna be tough, bro.
Yeah.
That's got to be a guy that like just got there, maybe a G League guy.
Yeah. Who did they draft this year? I don't know.
All right, Clippers, Magic. You got any guys off the top of your head?
I just don't know a lot of Clippers players, and it's annoying me.
Yeah. You can try Jeff Green logic here.
Yeah, Green.
Fuck yeah. He never disappoints. Why is there
Yeah.
nothing on him
Yeah,
though?
because he's probably 100%.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
nice.
Good pull. Clippers, Magic.
JJ Redick played right for the Clips too.
I think so. Ooh,
Ah, shit.
this is turning
probably
bad.
two.
Fuck. This one's hard. The less than 200 points is screwing me up, man.
No.
It's not even just on that team; it's for their career too.
No, fuck. Matt Barnes, right? Played for the Magic and the Clippers. That's my other.
Barnes. I don't. Did he play for the Magic? Damn. Okay. Good
Okay.
pull. Good pull.
Like if Markelle Fultz didn't have one healthy season, he might have been under 200 points. But
For a career?
no, but
What about like? There's no way. Bull, right? No, I didn't think so.
no.
Just go down the line.
Oh.
About to put the fucking hint mode on.
Yeah, fuck.
God, I wish I could look at this fucking draft, man.
I know. I think did they draft De Silva this year or last year? Tristan De Silva, right? I think was he not there?
De Silva.
Try to space in between it. His first name's Tristan. Sorry, he was there this year. Oh, this one might. No way, he scored more than 200 then. Because that was their first round this year, I thought. Fuck. How? There's 51 players. I don't know any old heads, like old guys who played one game.
62 on that one. I might have to go to him mode, bro.
Yeah, for these two.
There's no player giving me. The fuck you mean? God damn it. All right, fuck you. We got to get rid of this guy first, so that way we can guess. Fuck.
That's a. It's just such a tough.
All right, think of college players. That's what we got to do. Think of college players.
Right, but then they have to play for the Magic too, which is just the worst. We may be cooked here.
What about? You think Mo Bamba's got?
Probably. It's just 200 points is so little. Like it's just crazy to me.
Fucking Christ, man. I'm just gonna fucking start putting in the most random guys I know.
Kyle Filipowski.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking this up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm kind of cheating. I'm just looking at their draft picks. I'm trying, guys. All right, that was cheating, but let's try to get the Nuggets one.
Okay. Right. So they got Hunter Tyson in the draft this year.
Did they?
And those are late. I'm pretty sure that was them. Right. Or last.
Ooh,
That was
okay.
their guy. 'Cause they
Yikes.
traded the Thunder for him.
Yeah,
But,
well,
dude, that's
we
just
can't
such a
change it
tough
now.
category, man.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Yeah.
All
If you
right,
don't like
well,
actually know benches and stuff. Julian Strother.
we tried, but all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. As always, make sure to stay logical, read that nonsense.